Hey everybody, so I wanted to jump on and go through a quick modeling sample based on the same workflow that we learned just the other week. So let's go ahead and get started. Again, when it comes to design inside of BobCAD, by default, the user coordinate system or the plane that you're drawing on is the XY plane. So the first topic that I wanted to cover is when you're creating your designs in 3D, you can utilize different planes, different construction planes or drawing planes in order to aid in the design. So you can create a sketch on the front plane or the side plane, and as you do extrusions, help you with your overall design process. So in our example, instead of starting on the top plane, what we're going to do is start on the side plane here. Okay, so once I start drawing on the side plane, I want to align my view. So I'm going to hit Control and the number 3. That's the hotkey that I have set up for my side view here. The next thing that I want to do is I want to start creating some geometry. So we're going to go to Create 2D. We're going to go to Rectangle. And now we're going to define the rectangle that we're going to create. So this is going to be a 4x1, and I'm going to have it top center. And then I'll choose OK, and then cancel to stop drawing. So that gives me my first piece of geometry. Really, this rectangle here I'm just using as some base geometry in order to create a spline. So we're going to go to Create 2D, Spline. This is a fit spline. And then we're going to pick up some reference locations based off of our geometry. Let's go one to there and one to here. And then OK. And you can see this gives us this curved surface right here. Or we're going to use that sketch in order to create a curved surface. Now from here I'm just going to trim away the unneeded geometry. So I'll trim away this section, and this section, and that gives us our first sketch. Okay. At this point we're going to go to the top plane. I'm going to hit Control 1 on my keyboard, and that will get me to a top plane as well. So I'm drawing in the top plane, and I'm also viewing in the top plane. Now from here I'm going to create a boundary that I'm going to use to cut a pocket into a surface. The way that I'm going to do this, I'm going to create a rectangle again. We're going to make this a 3. Let's make it a 3 by 1. Let's make it 1.5. So we'll do a 3 by 1.5. I'm going to put this on center here. We're going to say OK. All right, so that kind of gives me this shape. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to do line parallel, a 1/4 inch this way, a 1/4 inch that way. And then I'm just going to use that as some construction geometry in order to just kind of change the design a little bit to add a little more character to it. All right, so we'll get rid of these entities here. And from here, we're going to trim this up. So I'm going to use Utilities, Trim Strings. So we'll go here to here to here to here and to there. So that gets that all trimmed up. We'll get rid of these 2 pieces of geometry here. And then we'll come in and break the edges with a fillet. Okay, this is going to be a 300. Shift click on that. We'll say OK and cancel. So that gives us our 2 sketches that we want to work with. Now from here we're going to start getting into the solids. So the first takeaway is when you're creating sketches to design in 3D, use your construction planes to draw on different faces or planes of the part. This will definitely help you with your overall workflow for 3D design. All right, the next step here is to create a new layer. We're going to call this solid and enter. Anytime I create wireframe and solids, I like to put them on different layers. From here, what we can do is extrude some of this geometry.